Hey guys, Haxer here for another video tutorial, and today what we're going to be looking at is how you can use the Outlook web app on your Android device to access all of your messages without having to use the Outlook app. So let's go ahead and take a look how we would do this. The reason you might want to do this, there's a number of different reasons, but one of the biggest reasons you might not want to use the dedicated Outlook app from the Play Store is the permissions that are required. I've seen a lot of people that have commented on this, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable giving full permission to the application to be able to wipe data. Now specifically, if you're using this for work purposes, and you give full permissions to the Outlook app, the administrator for your company or your organization that you work for is going to have permissions to wipe your device potentially. Obviously, it's not something you would expect is usually going to happen, but if you don't want to give full control of your device to other people, to other administrators, for example, then it's definitely worth looking at an option here that allow you to access the data without having to give up control. So here we have my Android device up here, and what I have, I'm going to take a look at the full process here, but you can see what I have here is basically the web app. And so what I've done is I've added this to my home screen here. So this is going to give me a pretty close to Outlook experience. But the other thing that I want to show, which is really the unique thing here, is how you can actually get notifications set up. So the first thing you'll need to do is you're going to need to go to office.com. Okay guys, so you can see here I have office.com, outlook.office.com, but if you just go to office.com and you click on the Outlook option that comes up here, you're going to get this web app experience, and you can see that I'm looking at it in my browser. So it's pretty close to what we're going to get here, but of course you're going to be limited with your view here unless you full screen it. But to give you a better experience, there's a couple of things you're going to get as a benefit from adding this to your home screen. Number one, for me at least, it's limited the timing out that happens when you're in your browser, but also it just gives you sort of a better holistic experience. Okay, so after you tap on the three dots in the top right-hand corner of your browser, you should see some different options. In Chrome, it'll just be in a different place here, but what you're looking for is the home screen option. Either add to home screen all in one line, or in Opera it's just add to and then home screen. And when you click on this option here, what it's going to do is it's going to give you an option, which I'll show you here. So it's going to give you an option to add to your home screen here, and all you do is you simply give it a name and click on the add button, and it's going to add that icon to your home screen. So coming back to my home screen here, you can see that this is what it's going to look like. Depending on your browser, of course, you'll see that little browser icon in the bottom right corner there, but you'll be able to open this up, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what this looks like here. Alright, so in the app here, you can see it's completely full screen. I have all the controls that I would typically have in my browser, but I found a couple things. Again, number one, it prevents the app from timing out as consistently. I've been signed in for actually about almost a week at this point, and it has not signed me out, whereas in my browser, it tends to sign me out much more often. But anyways, so it keeps you signed in a little bit longer, but also you get this full screen layout, and it just works better. It's a little bit smoother because it's basically using this almost like a web app, as opposed to just sort of in your browser. And there are only certain pages that are going to actually function this way as well, because if I was to add just any web page to my home screen, if it doesn't support this kind of web application view, then what it's going to do is it's going to just open that link in your web browser. It'll just open it in Opera or Chrome or whatever you use. But in this case, with Outlook, you get the full experience, so it's almost like a completely separate app here. So that's one good thing. But the next important thing is that even though you do have this full screen view of Outlook here, and of course I'm blocking out some of the data here for privacy reasons, but the next thing you want to do is get notifications, and that's the thing that's a little bit more challenging, so I'm going to show you how to do that here. We're going to go ahead and head over to our Kiwi browser. So the more challenging part is definitely getting notifications in this app, because again, with the dedicated Outlook app on Android, it's very easy to get those notifications, but using the web app, not as easy. It does not allow you to set up notifications. I've even tried going into desktop mode in different kind of settings and areas. For example, going into the browser, doing desktop mode, turning on notifications doesn't seem to work. So there's just a number of things you can try, but whatever I tried, it just did not work. So the only way I was able to get my notifications to actually work properly is by downloading an extension here through Kiwi. Now, if you don't know Kiwi browser, this is a Chrome-based browser on Android, which gives you the ability to do a lot of different things, but one of those really important features is that you can use Chrome extensions. And so if I go in here and I click on the dots in the bottom right corner, I can go to extensions here. And if I click on the sandwich icon in the top left-hand corner and I click on Open Kiwi Web Store, it really just goes to the Chrome Web Store in desktop view, and I can actually type in here. Okay, so to find the Chrome extension that you need here, once you open up that Kiwi Web Store link, and once it takes you to the Chrome Web Store here, you're going to just type in OWA for Outlook Web App, and if we scroll over to the right here, it should be the second one. It's OWA Notifications. This is the icon you'll see, and if we click on this, it's going to allow us to install it. So I'm just going to go over here to the right, click on Add to Chrome. Okay. You can see that it's already going to be added to the extensions list, and it's already enabled. So what this means now is that I have this extension installed, which is going to send me push notifications for all of my Outlook messages. So what you will need to do is, depending on how you installed or sent that web app to your home screen before, if you were using Kiwi, then you've already signed into Office from this browser, which means that you won't need to do it again. But if you're like me and I used Opera to send it to my desktop here, then you're just going to need to sign back into office.com from Kiwi. So I'll go to office.com the same way I did before, sign in, and we're going to pull up the email here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I have the app opened here in my Kiwi web browser, so you can see here that I'm at outlook.office.com. I have it pulled up, and now that I'm signed in, what you're going to need to make sure that you do is you definitely want to test this just to make sure you get the notification. But at this point, you're pretty much set up so you can receive notifications from Outlook, and all you're going to do is just keep this open. Especially if you don't use Kiwi as your main web browser, this will be easy. But what I usually like to do just to make sure that I'm getting notifications consistently is I keep this open in the most recent tab, meaning that whenever I exit out of the Kiwi web browser, this is the tab that I have open, and I leave it running. You also want to make sure that you have all your settings set up so that battery optimization is not set for this app, so it's not forcing it to close in the background, so it keeps it kind of active. Things like that. So you can just go and do a search in your settings for battery optimization, find this app, and select it, and you'll be able to make sure that it's not killing this app, for example. But as long as you do that, whenever I go out of here, so let me just go ahead and show you, once I exit out of this app, okay, and what I'm going to do here now is I've got my email client up. I'm just going to send a quick test message to that account just to make sure that I get the notification. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I'm looking at my notification view here, and you can see that I just got my test notification here. It only took about a second, but here's my notification. So I just got this. It comes from the Kiwi web browser, and it's using that extension that I just installed through the Chrome store on the Kiwi web browser. So obviously, if you tap on this notification, it's just going to launch your Kiwi web browser. It's going to go straight to office.com and to the Outlook client in that browser, and you can certainly do that if you'd like to read the email that you just received. But what I usually do is just launch the web application that we added to our home screen. Alright guys, that's it for this video on how you can get the Outlook web app on your mobile device, use that as an alternative to the Outlook app, and how you can get notifications set up for that app as well. If you guys would like to check out some different free ways that you can support the channel, one of those ways I have on the screen here is Robinhood. You can go to this link that's in the description. I've linked for you guys. That's going to get you guys free stock with Robinhood. There's also free stock available with Webull, which is also in the description, and some other free things as well. So if you guys want to support the channel, that's just one free way that you can do that. And then plus you guys get something free. You get free stock, which could be valued at a pretty high amount depending on what you get. It's completely random. But definitely check that out. Check out the description for other more free ways that you can support the channel. And definitely like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Guys, other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.